There's a lot of reasons why people don't sleep too well. There's some medical reasons, insomnia, for example. Sometimes you just have to get up and use the bathroom a lot. But how many different reasons involve bleeding all over your pillowcase?
Like there's no tomorrow. Weekend on the night. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Falver. This is my daughter Haley right here. And yes, I did just show you my pillowcase full of blood. Now that's just one side. The other side is full of blood. I had it pulled off so I could get a new case on, and that one is full of blood. What I'm talking about today is something called folliculitis. And what folliculitis is inflammation of the hair follicles. So it could be here, it could be anywhere on your head, your eyebrows, your downstairs, anywhere where there's hair, you could possibly get folliculitis. Now normally this is found in men. You know how sometimes you'll shave your beard or shave your mustache and you'll have those little red itchy dots? That's folliculitis, but that's a very minor folliculitis that usually heals up in a few weeks. We all know that one. Well, unfortunately, and I am going to get a little personal because this is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me to date. I have a more severe version of folliculitis. As you can see by pictures right here, this is what I looked like when I got my hair cut last. You can see that I got all sorts of rashes and whatnot going on the back. Basically, the dermatologist calls it acne on the scalp. So if you've grown up with, you had acne on your face, imagine that on your scalp. Now, the reason I got this, at least in my case, it's different for everybody. Some people just get it. Some people, a lot of people don't. But the reason I got it was because about a year to a year and a half ago, somewhere in there, I started taking, my doctor prescribed me testosterone shots to try and fix another problem I had. And shortly after getting those shots, I started breaking out a little bit on my head. Now we're talking the back of my head, just like you saw a second ago. And it hurts. It started out just a couple of bumps over here. I had one removed right here where I actually had to go into surgery. They split it open. They thought it was a cyst. And so when he split it open, it was not a cyst. It was an infection in my hair follicle. You know what they did? They got a sample of it and they sent it to not one, but two labs in 2 different states. And you know what? They still couldn't figure out what it was. So I had to go to my dermatologist, who then told me it was folliculitis. I had no idea what started it. I had no idea how to cure it. I didn't even realize it was a side effect of the testosterone at that time. I even asked my dermatologist at the time, hey, I just started these shots, could that be it? Oh no, that can't be it at all. Well, a year later I went and saw an endocrinologist, which is basically like study of your genes, study of your hormones. And he outright told me that's exactly what started this. So let me first talk about what I've done so far and basically what hasn't worked for me. When I first saw my dermatologist, I was using a drug called minocycline, and that really wasn't doing a whole lot. And so I stopped because it was doing nothing for me. Since then, I was looking around for all sorts of solutions. There's a lot of boards. If you go Google folliculitis, help, relief, whichever, you'll find a lot of boards with people who have had this for 7, 10, 15 years. And they list everything that they've tried, and it seems like nothing works. But I think in my case, it's how I got it that will be the result of me getting rid of it, where I think others were just, for those who had acne as a teenager, that was natural for them. I've never had acne, so this is very unnatural for me. And so what have I tried? Well, let's start. I watched a video of another gentleman who he used white vinegar. He used white vinegar, and he said what he did was he what was it? He poured it on his head, or no, I'm sorry. No, that's not what it was. He put it on a washcloth and put that washcloth on his head and covered it with a shower cap and took a shower, let it soak in. And then he would clear himself up and clean that off. A few issues with that. Number one, vinegar smells. And unless you have a very well-ventilated bathroom, nobody wants to smell it. That smell will linger for a long time. And it looks like Haley wants to say something.
Vinegar smells like mayonnaise.
So apparently vinegar smells like mayonnaise. To me, vinegar just burns my nose. So, and I kid you not, after I got done using it, like I think the first or second time, I stopped using it altogether, and it lingered for weeks in our bathroom. It was nasty, and it didn't work. So the next step from there was virgin coconut oil. Virgin coconut oil, I used in two separate ways. Number one was, you just grab a little chunk and you put it in your hair and you just rub it against the areas that are affected. This only worked for a day on me. I did this every day for 2 weeks, and it didn't work for me more than one night. So the next step for me was to start melting it and just drizzle it in my hair, let it soak in. Unfortunately, that didn't work at all either. So virgin coconut oil did not work in this case. I read about tea tree oil. Now, there's a few ways you could have used tea tree oil. One was to put it on directly. The other I read, which was really, it worked for some time, was to mix tea tree oil in with your shampoo and conditioner and mix it all up in the shower there, put it in your hair, rub it in a bit, and throw a shower cap on. Now, the shower cap, make sure that it holds. Now, it does sting a little bit. It's trying to work. It stings, but not too much. But hey, tea tree oil has a lot more effects on your hair than just healing your scalp. So, tea tree oil helps keep lice away. Tea tree oil makes your hair shine a little more. It adds a little more oil to your hair, which is nice, which is natural oil, not just, something you normally buy off the shelves. So there's a lot there with tea tree oil. So, even if you don't have folliculitis, I would suggest every once in a while, get some tea tree oil, put it in a squirt bottle with some water and spray your hair. It will help you. Anyway, that's beside the point. That worked for some time. I want to say about a month. It worked for about a month, and it stopped working. And I could not, for the life of me, get any relief when I slept. Do you know how terrible it is to lay your head on your pillow and, oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts. I mean, you do this over and over again. Once you find the nice spot where you're just like, oh, I finally can get some sleep, anything will wake you up. If you have to roll over, you're going to go through the same crap. If your wife nudges your pillow, oh, you have to go through the same crap. It's a pain. It really is. There was a period of time I did nothing. Like I went day to day just enduring the pain. And then most recently, my mother has me trying, or had me trying, oil of oregano. And I'll tell you what, that shit burns. I don't know what in the world it's trying to do, but that shit burns. Does it mean it's working? I have no idea. And it looks like Haley wants to say something else.
It's probably trying to heal the folliculitis.
The folliculitis. Well, the problem with that is, I actually saw my dermatologist today. And when I talked to my dermatologist about that, what she told me was that folliculitis is too deep for any of these to actually dive in and cure. So using the oil of oregano, using the tea tree oil, using the virgin coconut oil, using the vinegar, none of them got deep enough into the actual problem. And so it burned, but it burned at skin level. It didn't actually get in. The tea tree oil is probably the closest, but that's probably because I also mix it with shampoo and conditioner. I don't know. Why did I call my dermatologist? Why am I not fighting this still? I'm done. I'm so done with this, and here's why. You know, I have a 2-year-old. I have a 2-year-old in my house, and this, October 31st was Halloween. We went out to my grandmother's and we went walking around her block, and it's a big block, right? And we're walking around and she starts getting sluggish, she's just really moving slow. Her little legs can only go so far. So what do I do as a dad? I pick her up. And so, she's between 30 and 40 pounds. She's a big 2-year-old. So instead of holding her in my arm, I put her on my shoulders. But the pain was killing me. And so, I put her up there, and I realized after we got done, and I'm sitting here just, the whole time. When we got back to my grandmother's place and I put her down, guess what I saw on her costume? I saw a little bit of this on her costume. Can you imagine how I felt bleeding on my daughter's costume? Bleeding on my daughter. I mean, I endured the pain. That I love my daughters. I will do anything for them. But when you see this on your daughter's costume because of something that you can't get rid of, it kills you to the core. Now, at 2 years old, they don't understand that, if I touch here, you hurt. I mean, that's why, guys, you can agree with this, right? That's why anytime a 2-year-old is around the front of us, we kind of bend over a little bit, cover up, move to the side, put our knee in the way. We're not going to get hit down there. Well, my 2-year-old, when I hold her, she's very lovable. And she looks at me, and sometimes she likes giving me hugs. And when she's up here in my arms, she's not going to give me a hug on my leg. They do, but but when they're held up in the arms, they're going to hug you. And so what does she do? She puts her arms out and wraps them around my head, hitting me right in the back of the head. Oh, the pain that comes with it. That hurts so bad. But you know what? Again, I endure because this is my 2-year-old daughter just showing me she loves me. And it's cute. She'll grab my head, and unfortunately she'll grab back there and pull me close and give me kisses. And it's kind of funny because she'll be like, because most of us go, mwah, mwah, right? So she'll sit there and, So, it sucks, I should not have to live with this pain. I can't put my daughter on my shoulders. I can't get a hug from my daughter without being in pain. I can't sleep. I mean, you see this, right? I wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep. Last night, I went to bed at 10. I got up at 2, couldn't go back to sleep until 4, woke up again at 6, couldn't get back to sleep until I had to wake up again. It was not a good night, and this is normal because of this. So for any of you who have folliculitis, something to try. Tea tree oil, mix with your shampoo conditioner. straight. Don't put it all in the bottle and shake the bottle. When you squirt or pour some shampoo conditioner into a container, put some tea tree oil in it, not the whole bottle because it's expensive, but put some in it, stir it up, put it on your head, and let it rub in. It will bring you temporary relief. If you begin to do this regularly, it will not work. And so that will provide you temporary relief. And I feel bad for anybody who has this stuff. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm sorry. Now, something I did see my dermatologist today, and I told her about my story, and I told her why I'm coming in again. And what she did was she put me on minocycline, because that worked so well last time. Maybe my body just got used to it and needed to start over. I don't know. But she also put me on what I think is penicillin. I forget the name. But hopefully between these two pills, this will clear up my head. So my dermatologist wants to see me again in 3 weeks. So you know what I'll do? I will come back in 3 weeks and I'll let you know how those worked. Okay? I will let you know if they worked, how they worked, so that you guys can go call your dermatologist and figure it out yourselves. I've seen some of you have this. I've seen some of you post that you've had this for 7, 10, 15 years. You should not have to suffer. None of us should. So hopefully this works. Hopefully I can come back with some good news. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Don't you think? So if you have folliculitis, I would love to know what you've done to get some relief. Comment below in the comments. I would like to connect. I would love to know, what is it you do to bring yourself some relief? Are there any physicians or people in the medical field out there that have an idea? I'd love to get your comments too. I'm looking for anything to get this pain to go away. I would love to be able to lay down and cuddle with my wife, or play with my daughter, or put her on my shoulders, or whatever. So if you have some input, please, I'd love to hear it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Please subscribe to the channel. We got more stuff coming to you all the time. Here on Wednesday, we're going to be starting Weight Loss Wednesdays. And I know it's hard. I know that days it's just difficult to do. But don't ever forget to smile.